Thailand's tourist high season starts in November and ends in March. The last season was quite bad. According to the government statistics, Bangkok's hotel occupancy rate was only 18%, and Phuket was only 16%. I got here with Phuket Sandbox program in November 2021, and that was what I saw on Patong Beach the first day I was allowed to leave my hotel. However, sometimes the bad situation may have a silver lining. Because of the supply far exceeded the demand, the hotel price became extremely affordable. I stayed in Holiday Inn at Sukhumvit 22, with fabulous breakfast buffet. It was only less than $50, cheaper than the worst motel in the US. The situation has changed a great deal since then. Last week, the government got rid of the last COVID restriction, the Thailand Pass. Starting from July 1st, the rule to enter the country is business as usual before COVID. You only need to have vaccine documents. Finally, thank God. Now, what can you expect of your visit to Thailand in the coming season? Would the tourists flocking back to Thailand after 2 years of restriction? Would your visit cost more with higher price for air tickets and hotel, given the current worldwide inflation? The simple answer is no. Although the worldwide inflation is a fact, but there are exceptions. In terms of national income from tourism, Thailand ranks number 3, only after the US and Spain. It counts 8% of Thailand's overall GDP. But, this income was greatly reduced in last 2 years, due to the pandemic. The labor forces in the tourist industry, including so many massage girls, were forced to go back to their village homes in those days, since they have no income in the cities. And the labor forces count 20% of Thailand's working population. So, there is a deflation going on in Thailand, and things are still very cheap over there. I just checked that if you book one night stay in Sukhumvit Holiday Inn in early July, the price is still $41, and domestic transportation, restaurants or street food prices, remain the same as well. Of course, you have to check different booking platforms for your hotel room, because the price range could be huge. The same hotel, but if you book it in Booking.com, it is $83, but in Trip.com, it is only $41. Tourists will return, but our survival will be challenging, Tourism Council of Thailand President Chamnan Srisawat said. Less than half of tourism businesses have resumed, and those that are open again don't have enough customers to operate profitably. You just need to look at the commercial center of Patong Beach, Phuket. You can see that Thailand's tourist industry has a long way to go to its full recovery. It's really no joke. Thailand expects 9.3 million foreign arrivals this year, compared with only about 428,000 in 2021. That's still a far cry from the 40 million visitors in 2019. Arrivals are expected to reach 24 million, or 60% of pre-pandemic levels, as far off as 2024, the World Bank said in a recent report. One of the major problems for Thailand's tourism industry is the absence of Chinese tourists, who were the largest spenders in pre-pandemic era. According to this chart, there were close to 1 million Chinese visitors coming to Thailand in March 2019, larger than Europeans and Americans combined, and they spent more money in Thailand than any other nationalities as well. But, nowadays Chinese citizens could not even get out of their home, let alone get out of the country. In 2019, 40 million foreign visitors arrived in Thailand, 1/4 of them, total of 10 millions, were from China. Chinese tourists are a key factor to the recovery, said Suksit Suvandatkul, president of Thai Hotels Association Southern Chapter. Phuket is particularly popular with Chinese visitors, he said. They used to fill every hotel, everywhere, whether seaside or downtown, all year round. Today, you can still find taxi drivers and bar girls holding signs written in Chinese, "Welcome, Chinese friends." But no Chinese tourists could be found anywhere. Many restaurants catering to Chinese visitors were all but closed forever. The question is, who could possibly to fill in the Chinese space in Thai tourism industry? 10 million of them. Some industry experts hope that due to the elimination of all entry restrictions, by the end of 2022, foreign arrivals could exceed 9 million for the year. So far, visitors from India and Malaysia have reached 2 million. Last week's footage of Bangla Street in Phuket seemed to project hope and energy of Thai tourism industry, at least in Phuket. But, if you look at the hotel price there, you get a different picture. Royal Paradise Hotel is very popular among foreign visitors in Patong Beach, and I stayed there many times. I have just checked its price in August, and it is only $21 a day, lower than ever, as far as I can tell. I paid $36 in January, 2022, when Phuket's hotel occupancy rate was 16%. That means, today's rate is lower. It is a bad news for the industry, but is it not a good news for visitors? That's the silver lining, is it not? The same is happening in Pattaya as well. From last week's footage, the walking streets seem coming back from the dead, and many bars reopened for business, although some of them were half empty. But the hotel and Airbnb prices are telling the real story. Recently, I have never stayed in any hotel in Pattaya, because Airbnb offered much better deal. For instance, the base is a large residential compound, only 300 meters away from Beach Road, and 10 minutes walk to Tree Town. It has an infinite pool on the roof, and there are a kitchen and living room, plus a bedroom and modern bathroom. All that cost me $22 per day last December. Today, it is still $22. Of course, it is off-season right now. So, what can you expect of your Thailand visit, when the raining season is over in November? As far as I am concerned, it will be busier than last season, since all COVID-related restrictions are removed and much of Europe and US are into winter season. But, COVID will not be over entirely, and the Chinese are not going to be there either. The oversupply in Thai tourism industry will continue for some time. Therefore, you can expect your price tag will be up modestly, not by much, and the weather, and Thai culture will be as beautiful as ever. So, get ready, folks, to visit the land of smile.